As I shared, I'm Brian Lambert, and I wanted to just briefly explain a little bit about my background and why I built these courses at the Commercial Enablement Institute. I'm going to put my background up here on the screen and you can read through it. I know you could go to LinkedIn and look at this, and I'm not trying to put this up here to say, look at all my credentials. Well, maybe I am, but why? Why am I putting this up here? I think it's very important for you to understand where this content came from and what I've done to build this content. This is not just a regurgitation of somebody else's ideas. Everything I'll show to you throughout these courses has been proven to work because I've actually used it and actually done it. Throughout my background and my career, I think it's important to note that I've worked at tactical levels and strategic levels. I've spent a lot of time working in various different fields, from the Air Force to learning and development to being a researcher at Forrester, where I was one of the first enablement researchers and analysts. I've also been in sales and been a salesperson, a sales manager, a recruiter of salespeople. I have a PhD where I studied sales and organizational development, and I've written 4 books on selling and learning and development. I've worked in IT and retail and pharmaceuticals and manufacturing, and launched podcasts and content on multiple platforms. I've actually been founding members of standards councils and enablement. I've also been launching and developing solutions, services, content, and training in 6 enablement functions, where I've started several of them from scratch. I've actually been in a Fortune 50 company leading enablement as a practitioner. I've launched new hire onboarding at several well-known companies, and I've architected leadership development training for software as a service companies, SaaS companies, to help them move beyond managing spreadsheets to leading change. And I've spent a lot of time talking to enablement practitioners. I've talked to hundreds of people who want to orchestrate across the ecosystem. I've traveled globally and given keynotes and spent a lot of time hearing different perspectives. And when you look at what I'm going to share with you, I don't think there's anywhere else you'll be able to get proven, consistent, vetted, and rigorous learning and development content. And the way that I've built these courses is very actionable. I want you to be able to engage. I want you to be able to push back. I want you to be able to challenge me, because that's how I learn. You'll have access to me throughout this program. You'll also have access to others who have come before you. I've literally spent 15 to 20 years figuring out what I'm about to share with you, so you don't have to spend that much time. I've spent hundreds of hours of my own personal time, thousands of dollars of my own personal money. I've spent years building tools and spreadsheets and content that I've actually used. And I've done this without vendor money. Everything you see here is on the orchestratesales.com site. It has been created over many years of just figuring it out and building it myself with others who are using the content daily. So I wanted to share this with you and my background with you, to say everything that I'm about to share with you is not just high end and high quality. It's actually been used before. And more importantly, it's going to stretch you. There is no silver bullet. This is one of the hardest professions in the world. Enablement is a cross-functional role. And there's so much to learn for me still today that I hope by going through these quests and through these experiences at orchestratesales.com, you'll be able to not only elevate your role, but improve your own executive acumen and lead others to increase your impact and help salespeople be successful. I also wanted to give a shout out to my friend and colleague, Scott Santucci. Scott and I have spent years working together. He was the first person who brought me into the enablement profession. In fact, he was the first person to call it the profession. He's actually the father of sales enablement. I spent years working with Scott, and I've still spent time working with him today. We do research. We've done a podcast together. We wrote content. He's developed keynotes. I've helped him deliver experiences. I've learned a lot from Scott. And there's so much informed by that collaboration in these courses that I would be remiss if I didn't put him out here as one of the co-authors of this content. I also will throughout the courses on the site, put some of his links to where you can find additional content about what he's working on. He's on the very front leading edge of transforming companies. You can find him at growthenablement.com and commercialratio.com. A lot of the content that he's developed is actually embedded in these courses, and also I've used to be successful in my own career. So thank you, Scott, for not only investing in this content and putting a lot of the visuals and frameworks together, but thank you for investing in me and so many other sales enablement people out there. You were the one who started the Sales Enablement Society, and you're the one that's on the front leading edge of evolving the commercial function in so many companies. So thanks for your time on and advice on this, and I've appreciated working with you since wow, 2007 we've known each other. So let's talk about you. Thanks for going through this setup here and who I am and where this content came from. But let's talk about you and your journey. You're in the Orchestrating Business Impact course, and there are other courses that are being developed or already launched. This course here that you're in is designed for every enablement practitioner, from the newest enablement person to the most senior enablement person, the most seasoned, experienced professional. It's a level set around the enablement profession. There are a lot of modules in this overall curriculum. In this course here, the Orchestrate Sales curriculum for orchestrating, module 1 is about why orchestrators are important. We'll also get into the heroic leadership model. We'll talk about increasing agility in a volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous world. And we'll also develop a profile. So you can develop your own role profile, regardless of your own job description, the role profile of an orchestrator. In this course, you'll learn how to communicate the difference between orchestrating and managing initiatives. You'll learn about positioning orchestration as a valuable capability. You'll be able to differentiate the value of being an orchestrator from the perspective of your CEO and executive team. You'll learn how to lead differently and clarify your role. You'll also be able to download, and I encourage you to do this now, your participant guide. In the participant guide, you'll be able to see tools and forms that you can fill out and engage with the content as I'm explaining and sharing. Throughout the course, I'll call out and ask you to engage in your participant workbook. I'll ask you to actually pause the video and do the activities and come back. You'll also, through the website, be able to get access to the slides, to this course content, and any other supplemental material. I've also set up discussion groups for you to participate in, so you can get answers to some questions from your peers. You'll also be able to have access to me through individual coaching and group settings. We've also developed an action lab series to put this content into action. Really, it is a place, a destination where the more you put in, the more you get out. And I hope you're able to tailor your own journey as you engage. There are 4 modules in this course. Module 1 is about orchestrating business impact. Module 2 is about orchestrating a complex world. Module 3 is increasing agility in a complex world. And module 4 is the role profile module of this course. So let's get started. Go ahead and grab your participant guide and head to the first lesson. I'll see you there.